Hey, I want to talk about acceleration. The last few days have been about some barriers. We talked about Bob, barriers, obstacles, and blocks. And I listed some of the ones that have been prominent in my life. Some abuse issues and some addiction issues and uh, depression and self sabotage. But they're no longer issues. And so this is the fabulous thing. Wherever you are in your growth, wherever I am, acceleration is possible. Acceleration. Now, one of the things about this is that we seem to have this. I used to feel it. I won't even say we. I used to feel and believe with all my heart that it only mattered. You were only doing good if you went faster and faster and faster and got more done and more done and more done. And that was really all that mattered, is the most you could possibly do. And I've learned that that's not true. I've learned it's not true. And not only is it not true, it's harmful. It's harmful in several ways. One is when you believe that acceleration and hurry up and get it done is a measure of your coolness or effectiveness, at least me, when I believed that. Sometimes I did things and I didn't do them as well as I could. So excellence, for me, I sometimes sacrificed excellence. I just barely did it good enough to get by. Now, sometimes, there isn't a need to be precise. So if you're putting the silverware away, to put it all lined up in perfection, maybe that's not necessary. But what I know is it was easy for me to sacrifice quality to hurry up and get stuff done. And whether, the funny part about that is whether anybody noticed or not, I felt bad because I really enjoy doing things well. And so then there was a weight on me because I was hurrying up just to get it done, and then done good enough for what? Was somebody else going to judge it? And so you get in this whole thing of the judgment of others. Now, if you're doing something for someone else, then someone else's standard is important, and doing it well enough so that they're satisfied with your output is a key piece. Acceleration in physics is the speed at which the speed changes, right? So my finger's moving this fast. Now it's moving this fast. And if it goes from slow to fast, the speed at which the speed changes is acceleration. So you know that. It just means going faster, right? You push on the gas pedal on a car and you accelerate. What does that have to do with road to 50 million? Well, what I know is that when you cram the gas pedal to the floor, the fuel efficiency goes way down. If you've ever driven a hot rod, I used to have a couple of pretty fast cars, and if you drove them hard, it would burn through a lot of gas. There is an optimal level at which you get the most out of each tank of gas. Now, you know that. That was the whole idea behind the double nickel, 55 miles an hour, which for a long time was the speed limit, and then it got abolished. What does that have to do with creating your ultimate life? Well, here's what it has to do with it. When I push myself and I say, I've got to get this done, and I do that day after day, with a big, long list of things to do, I get burned out. I get frustrated. Then when things on top of that don't go like I want them to, I get angry at myself. And then I start this spiral, and the spiral goes like this. I didn't get everything done I wanted, so I need to work faster. Okay, I still am not getting everything done because the schedule doesn't go like I plan. Okay, then I need to get up earlier. Okay, then I'm tired and I can't get up early in the morning every single day because then I get tired and then I get behind. And when I get behind, then I get more frustrated. The more frustrated I get, then I get angry at myself. And that turns into a spiral. It slowed me down. It made me do less. And you know what was worse than doing less? I was frustrated all the time. Like the day didn't go by with feeling really good about the day and what I was doing. So that meant I wasn't enjoying each thing as I did it. And then the sum total that I got accomplished in a day was never enough. So that was double frustration. So we've all experienced that, and I'm sure you have too. So what's the answer? Well, the answer is slow down. Here's why. There are three big reasons to slow down. When you slow down, you have a chance to think carefully, or maybe it isn't even think. Maybe it's simply intuitively know what to do and how to do it. I'm a huge fan of intuition now that I've learned to hear it. Acceleration is often the opposite of success. It's often the opposite of happiness. It's often the opposite of contented day-to-day activity. And it's often the opposite of long-term progress. So you've heard the saying, probably, slow down to speed up. That is a true saying. Now, I'm not saying mess around. I'm not saying get sidetracked and spend days or hours on social media. You and I both know the difference between getting sidetracked and not doing stuff because you're afraid to or you're lazy. I've done that. And between slowing down for two reasons, to do a good, thorough job the first time and to have fun on the way. There was I've told this story before in another episode, but I'm going to tell it again because it's pretty funny. There was a time when I was seeing a counselor regularly, working heavily in the first years after I started working on depression. So after the 2007 wake-up call and some other things, I really realized finally I really needed to get to work on fixing my mental health. It was busted and it wasn't right. So I did things personally. I started meditating, changed my diet. I saw some shrinks. I experimented with medication and some other things. And gradually I have been able to completely understand more than, get rid of it per se, but understand what it feels like. Like I'm able to identify quickly, okay, this is what this feels like and this is what's going on. And so it's not a problem anymore. Anyway, in one of those conversations with a shrink, we were talking about hurrying up and getting things done, right? And the constant pressure I felt to do more, hurry up, sometimes because I just felt like I needed to get it done. And sometimes it was because I felt like I'd wasted all those years with the problems that we discussed in the last episodes, addiction and depression and so forth. And somehow I needed to hurry up and make up for lost time. I needed to hurry up, and I was behind. My whole life was behind, years, maybe decades. And I needed somehow to find the magic button. I needed to find the magic button to have it all work out quickly. Well, you never find it, and it didn't. And what I did is I ended up living life in a frustrated way behind the eight ball all the time. So anyway, what he asked me is, we were talking about skiing, and I told him this story about a particular lift in Golden, British Columbia, and the ski resort is called Kicking Horse. There was a time years ago when it used to only be heli-skiing, and then they built a lodge and some lifts and stuff. But it's a beautiful, beautiful place, and it has some terrifying runs. And one of the terrifying but not totally terrifying runs is a double black run called Stairway to Heaven. And the front side coming down off Stairway is a black run. And the backside, if you do a traverse and jump in on the backside of the mountain, it's about a 10-foot drop going in. And then it's a double black run, and it's quite good. It's quite scary, and it's quite fun. Anyway, and it's also got one of the longest vertical drops of any run in North America. I think it's 4,200 and something feet of vertical drop, which is a lot. So anyway, we were talking about it for some reason, and he said, so if you were doing that and you did that traverse and you're getting ready to jump the run, the backside of Stairway, what would it be like if a helicopter picked you right up at the top and then set you off at the lodge? You're done. I mean, your goal was to get to the bottom, right? And I laughed, and of course, and that would be the most ridiculous thing in the world. You ride the lift all the way up, you do the traverse across the mountain, then a helicopter picks you up and takes you down to the lodge. That's the stupidest thing I ever heard of, right? And I said so. And he said, well, why? And I said, because the point is the run. The point is to do the run, have the experience of the run. And then it dawned on me what he was trying to teach me. And that was, it isn't getting things done that is the point. The point is the doing. The doing. So I share that with you because it was a profound lesson for me. And I think about that shrink in that session often because there's so many times that I want to hurry up and get to the end. And the point is the whole experience. So I'm not saying acceleration is bad. There are times when acceleration is exhilarating, powerful, necessary, and exactly what is required. But we also live in a time and place where hurry up and get it done, get to the top of the mountain, get rich quick, get to the star status, sell 1 million books, finish your project is the big push. Hurry up, finish your education, finish your degree. Well, that's like getting in the helicopter at the top of that run and then being set down at the lodge. My learning is now that the purpose of life is to have the experiences, and to have those experiences make me better, make me sweeter, make me more patient, make me more able to relate and to communicate with and to love you and everyone else. The reason I'm talking about acceleration, there's times when I feel that. And I was just talking to Joy earlier today, and she said, you need to do less. You're doing too much, and you're not enjoying the process. So I'm taking that in consideration. She coaches me all the time, and I actually look for coaching in every nook and cranny, and everything I read, and every person I talk to. Even when I'm coaching, I look for the pieces of conversation that enlighten or shine a light on something I might need. As I finish this one today, I want to urge you to do 3 things. Number 1, look and see where acceleration is blinding you to the experience of creating your ultimate life. Creating a life of purpose, prosperity, and joy is going to take whatever it takes. And I finally have learned that trying to hurry up is counterproductive, and it makes me miss half the fun, or all the fun, in the case of the helicopter ride. Sometimes people say, stop and smell the roses. So first thing is consider where acceleration is really important for you and where acceleration is truly getting in the way of your own development, because the result isn't the only answer. The development along the way is. The second thing, I want to invite you to focus on your ultimate life. Focus on a life of purpose, prosperity, and joy, and maybe you're already enjoying it. Maybe you get up every day and you absolutely love your life. If that's you, I love it. I'd love to talk with you, because those are the kind of folks I like to know more of. Well, I like to know more of everybody, but I have lots of ways that you can get the method and message out that you have for people. So I want you to consider your own journey to your ultimate life. Are you living it? Are you really making progress? Or is it really slow? Are you walking when you should be jogging? Are you detoured a lot? Are you stuck? Right? The famous coaching word, are you stuck somewhere? Most of those stuck things are in the head. You probably know that by now. My commitment is to help 50 million of you to discover and to live into that dream life of purpose, prosperity, and joy. It's available to you right here, right now. And the third invitation is, if you want to help me get to my 50 million, I'd love to chat also, because I can use all the help I can get to spread to teach and to love people into understanding who they really are and the possibilities that are right there at our collective fingertips. We'll see you tomorrow on the road to 50 million.